Hello and welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you here today for our Teen Book Talks. I'm Bethany. I'm from the Nelson Township Sand Lake branch of Kent District Library, and I'm super excited to be joining you today. A couple of announcements first. Today is the last day to enter our Teen Photo Challenge. Make sure that you get a chance to do that by going online, and you have a chance to win some gift cards if you do some awesome pictures and enter it to win. Go ahead and check that out on our website. And also we have coming up our Teen Film Festival. We have starting entries were started October 1st, and we are super excited to see everybody's awesome work. We're still planning currently on Celebration Cinema North being our location to view films. So please get ready to go, make some awesome art, and join us to present it. Also, one more promotion. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. I am super excited to bring to you some really cool teen books that are upcoming or recently released, and I have not had a chance to read any of these, but I keep looking for new and fun things to bring to you guys, and I'm super excited by all of these descriptions, so I'm hoping to share them with you today. Everything is on shelf, but nothing's on shelf here at Kent District Library in Nelson Township, Sand Lake. So I'm going to be showing you some awesome pictures of the titles from my phone here. So this is the first one, You Say It First by Katie Kotango. It's a romance. It's available on shelf as an audiobook and also as an ebook and e-audiobook. So you've got all the options available to you. The description, which I'm super excited about, says, "One conversation can change anything." Meg has her entire life set up perfectly. She and her best friend Emily plan to head to Cornell together in the fall. She volunteers at a nonpartisan nonprofit voter registration call center in her Philadelphia suburb. But everything changes when one of those calls connects her with a stranger who works a dead-end job in a small town in Ohio. Colby is stuck in a rut, reeling from a family tragedy and working that dead-end job. The last thing he has time for is a privileged rich girl preaching about the sanctity of the political process. So he says the worst thing he can think of and hangs up. Things don't end there, though. So Meg calls Colby to apologize and admits to him a secret of her own. And then that phone conversation leads to many, many, many nights of conversations. Candid, sometimes heated, always surprising. And that's a long-distance friendship that ends up becoming slowly something more. So people who like that slow burn romance, this is for you. Across the state lines and the phone lines, Meg and Colby form a once-in-a-lifetime connection. But in the end, are they just too different to make it work? Kotango writes with a equal sympathy about the opinionated characters with differing life experiences and worldviews. It touches on how college might not be the best option for everyone, which is not a topic often explored in teen books. It's a thought-provoking must-read for people who are questioning their futures, what their own heart says. If you like romances by Miranda Kennelly, Jenny Han, and Nadini Bajpai, try this book. Also, we've got a really cool one called A Cloud Outrageous Blue, which is actually all illustrated by the author throughout on the chapter titles pages. It's by Vesper Stamper. It's a historical fiction. It's available on shelf as an ebook and an e-audiobook, recommended ages 12 and up or 6th grade and up. While the last book I thought was pretty relevant because of our political climate today, this one I think is very relevant because of our climate today regarding COVID. So let me give you a little bit of background on this story. Following the deaths by murder and childbirth of her parents in 14th century England, Edith is sent to live in a Yorkshire priory where she begins to make a new life, a life that will be threatened by the approach of the Great Plague. Artistic Edie is reluctant to leave the familiarity of her small hometown, but she does find joy in the new friendships and her duties preparing pigments for the scriptorium. As she comes to terms with her new life and the gifts that she discovers in herself, outside of the Priory, something is coming. The Black Death begins its rampage, and Edie wonders if she's part of something bigger. The reappearance of a boy from her past and the ominous Great Plague creeping closer and closer to the Priory. It'll be up to Edith to rise above it all, but to do so, she has to choose between her dreams and her destiny. It's a dark and well-researched historical tale. It goes quickly, incorporates elements of the miraculous, but also shows off elegant watercolor illustrations, like I said. Stamper purposefully flips between the past and present events and tenses to gradually reveal Edie's life. And then there's the slice of the world of the Great Plague in 1348, so way long ago. The author avoids placing blame on the social structures or religion, and this instead points to the ideas of fear and mob mentality. And while there's a miraculous element, the solution comes from strength and faith of Edie and her bonds with other people. So, timely historical work focusing on women's roles and surviving the Great Plague. Obviously, pretty relevant to today and our world with COVID. We've got a lot of different things going on in our lives, and maybe this might be a really good escape for some people who are like, I want something relevant, but not necessarily exactly what's going on right now. Super excited about the next one, called The Assignment by Lisa Weimer. This one is available on shelf right now, and it's probably best for grade 6 and up. When an assignment given, a favorite teacher instructs a group of students to argue for the final solution. This is a euphemism used to describe the Nazi plan for the genocide of the Jewish people. Logan March and Cade Crawford are horrified. Their teacher cannot seriously expect anyone to complete an assignment that fuels intolerance and discrimination. Students quickly take sides, some hurling racist slurs, while others quietly oppose the project. Logan and Cade decide that they must take a stand. And as the school administration addresses their refusal to participate in the appalling debate, the student body, their parents, and the larger community are forced to face the issue as well. This is based on a true story, which is kind of cool. And Weimer's tale is skilled and nuanced. How the characters view the assignment allows readers to examine their own biases, and the point of view shifts throughout provide striking insights. The story digs up some deep societal biases. It's important to look at this critical moment in history through a modern lens, and it showcases the power of student activism. It's a good choice for fans of Angie Thomas's The Hate U Give and Nick Stone's Dear Martin. We're also experiencing a lot of turmoil today in our world with racial divides, and I think that this book is really relevant and might be really helpful for people who are trying to figure out what does that mean for me in my life. Now, move on to something a little darker in a different way. We've got Stepping Off Place by Cameron Kelly Rosenblum. This one's also available on shelf right now. So it's the summer before senior year of high school. Reed is in the thick of Schofield High's in crowd thanks to her best friend Hattie, who has been her social oxygen since middle school. But summer is when Hattie goes to her family's Maine Island home. Instead of sitting inside for 8 weeks, waiting for her best friend to return, Reed and their friend Sam enter into a pact. They're going to live it up one party at a time over the summer. But just days before Hattie is due home, Reed finds out the shocking news that Hattie has died by suicide. She won't just have to walk through the rest of her life without her best friend. She can't return to the world of her past without questioning her every memory. Driven by a desperate need to understand what went wrong, Reed searches for answers, and in doing so, she uncovers painful secrets about the person she thought she knew better than herself. Truth will force Reed to re-examine everything. So this is a debut novel by Cameron Kelly Rosenblum. Tackles love and grief and mental health as our main character processes her friend's death. learns how to stand in her own light. It moves from a story of loss to one of self-discovery, and it doesn't discount the pain that the teen protagonist feels as she's trying to get through to a new version of herself. If you are a fan of All the Bright Places and We Were Liars, this one's a book for you. I'm going to share something a little bit personal. I had a friend when I was in high school who threatened to commit suicide, and that was a really scary time in my life because I didn't want to live without my best friend. If you are a person who is in need of resources and wants to learn a little bit about suicide and what you can do to help prevent it, maybe this book will have some information for you. All right. A little bit more fun on this one, and with some fun stuff. This is The Infinite Noise by Lauren Shippen. This one is about Caleb Michaels, a 16-year-old high school championship running back. Right now, it's not even available on shelves yet. It's coming to our library soon. Recommended for ages 13 or grade 7 and up. Other than that, Caleb's life is pretty normal, but Caleb starts experiencing big mood swings that are really out of the ordinary, even for a teenager, and his life moves beyond the typical. Caleb is an atypical, an individual with enhanced abilities, which sounds pretty cool, except for that Caleb's ability is extreme empathy. He feels the emotions of everyone around him. Being an empath in high school would be hard enough, but Caleb's life becomes even more complicated when he keeps getting pulled into the emotional orbit of one of his classmates, Adam. Adam's feelings are big and all-consuming, but they fit together with Caleb's feelings in a way that he can't quite understand. Adam, despite his own struggles with depression, helps to drown out the chaos and soothe Caleb's frazzled nerves. As the two of them grow closer, Caleb has to sort out whether the attraction he feels is his own first same-sex attraction or simply a reflection of Adam's feelings for him. Caleb's therapist, Dr. Bright, encourages Caleb to explore this connection by befriending Adam. As he and Adam grow closer, Caleb learns more about his ability, himself, and his therapist, who seems to know a lot more than she lets on, and about just how dangerous being an atypical can be. This is a young adult romance debut by, it's a spinoff of the author's podcast. It's popular sci-fi called The Bright Sessions. And the narrative focuses on mental health, romance, and emotion. Lots of vivid language, strong voices. It focuses on the inner lives of the characters. And it's only got the necessary world building, so not like super deep on the world building part if you're not a fan of that in sci-fi. So make sure to pick this up if you're a fan of the podcast already. Also, if you enjoyed Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, or if you liked Rainbow Roll's work, or Welcome to Night Vale, the podcast, any of those things, definitely check this book out. All right. Very last one, and it would be appropriately spooky for this October. This is called Ghostwood Song by Erica Waters. It's a mystery, and it's available on a shelf right now. Shady Grove, main character, inherited a lot of things from her father, who died in an accident years ago. Her fiddle-playing skills, her love of traditional bluegrass music, and her ability to see ghosts who linger just out of sight of the living. With his fiddle, Shady's father could actually summon the spirits of the dead. Everyone says that the fiddle was lost when Shady's father crashed his truck into a lake and died. But she keeps hearing the fiddle calling to her from the Florida woods where she lives, and she believes she can find it. When her stepfather is murdered and her brother is accused and arrested, only the ghosts of the past and present have answers. She can't let the dead keep their secrets, and in order to clear his name, she's going to have to make those ghosts sing. But to make the dead speak, Shady must delve into the darkest parts of herself. This is Waters' debut, featuring a bisexual lead character with both a male and female love interest. So if that's something you're really interested in, this is an A+ for you. It's an atmospheric Southern Gothic setting, so that's always fun. And for the musically inclined, there's a lot of folk and bluegrass references. If you have a penchant for eerie ghost stories, this lyrical tale will hit the spot. So I'm all ready for fall with something like that. Thank you all so much for joining on our awesome Teen Book Talks. See you next weekend. Have a great day.